Welcome to Direction Northeast. Hello, I'm Dr. Rick Merritt. This program is a presentation of Mass Communication Department of Northeast State Community College. This week, we welcome a very special guest to our program. We will have a discussion with the new president of Northeast State Community College, Dr. Bethany Flora. We will meet our guest and start our discussion following these messages.
Over 10 years in investigations.
25 in heating and air conditioning.
15 years in the automotive industry.
22 in computer science.
23 years in healthcare.
An engineer.
A biochemist.
A chemist.
An award-winning author.
Northeast State professors bring experience to the classroom, a personal education from a professional. Classes when you need them, where you need them. More than 150 programs. Visit northeaststate.edu. Northeast State Community College. We're here to get you there.
During the past year, we at Northeast State have had the good fortune to welcome a new president to our college. And now, it's my pleasure to talk with her on our program. Dr. Flora, welcome to Direction Northeast.
Thanks, Dr. Merritt.
Could you tell us a little bit about your background in higher education and how that's prepared you to be the president of our college?
Sure. Well, academically, I have a PhD in Educational Leadership and Policy Studies from Virginia Tech, a Master's in Organizational Management from Tusculum University, and a Bachelor's in Business and Public Administration from UVA-Wise. So a lot of administrative background academically in preparation around those areas. Experientially, most recently, I was the Associate Director for the Center for Community College Leadership at East Tennessee State University. And in that role as a professor, I was preparing senior leaders for taking the helm of vice presidencies, deanships across the state, at community colleges across the state. So a great opportunity to network with the community college professionals in our state and then state level policy leaders. We were in Nashville 2 weekends a semester for weekend seminar sessions, much like an executive MBA program, meeting with state level policymakers, THEC, TBR, those types of individuals. So I feel really well prepared to work in the state of Tennessee in community college leadership.
Okay, very good. What's your vision for the future of Northeast State Community College?
Well, when I came on board in January, I had 3 overarching domain areas. The first was student success. I mean, that's why we're here. That's what motivates all of us. The second was excellence in programs and services. And the third was organizational health. And I could unpack each of those as we go along. But student success is why we're all here, focusing more on our retention rates, our graduation rates, and the student experience.
Okay, and just morphing into that a little bit more about that. Improve student success, as you noted, is your goal. How is Northeast State using the non-governmental program called Achieving the Dream to help that happen?
So Achieving the Dream is a non-governmental, as you've mentioned, entity that helps us use data to drive a lot of our student success endeavors. One of the first steps that we did was a data summit. So we look at all of the programs that we have in place here at the college that support students. I believe the latest inventory had over 180 student success programs here at the college. And so using data to help determine, are these programs successful? Who are they reaching? What are some opportunities to improve? What are the exemplar programs and how can we highlight those? And so it's a data-focused, data-driven dive into student success modules. You also select special populations of students to see how can we achieve more in these areas, such as equity in graduation rates and retention rates. So first generation students, for instance, or military students, or Pell students, low income students, or parents, single parent students. So those are the types of student populations that you use data to disaggregate and look at where are we succeeding and where are we making a difference.
Okay. And along with student success, right now Northeast State is currently working on our reaffirmation for accreditation from the Association of Colleges and Schools on Commission on Colleges. Mm-hmm. What are the various components that go into that?
Well, it's huge, Rick, and you know this, but it is the hallmark of quality for higher education institutions. So you must be regionally accredited or nationally accredited as a college to be able to receive federal funds, both the college and your students. And so it's very important that we are regionally or nationally accredited, and SACS COC is our accrediting body. What you do with the reaffirmation, a decennial reaffirmation review, you look at all programs, all processes, and all places where you offer education. So the health of the institution, the fiscal health of the institution, Your programs, every single academic program must go through an academic program review process. You look at things like the credentials of your faculty. Are they teaching in the areas they're supposed to be teaching in? Are they teaching in areas where they could be enhanced through some additional credentialing, for instance? And so it's a deep dive into all of the programs, all of the people, and all of the processes here at the college to make sure that what we're doing continues to be the high quality that we've done for years. I am excited to be part of this team right now. Susan Graybill, Dr. Susan Graybill is our Vice President for Institutional Excellence and Student Success, and she is leading the efforts around the SAC COC reaffirmation.
Okay, thank you very much. You talked about organizational health as a goal. How would you assess the current state of our organizational health?
Well, I look at that in two different ways. First, fiscal health, and secondly, climate, culture and climate of an institution. I believe our fiscal health right now, from everything that I've been given, and I've been studying our fiscal health for the past 4 months, one of the metrics that we use in higher education to determine the fiscal health of an institution is called the Composite Financial Index. That's an indicator of 4 different ratios, financial ratios, to look at the health of an institution. Anything around a 3.0 is a healthy fiscal environment. Because of the reduction in force and because of our assets, our capital assets, we have around a 3.0 composite financial index right now. Now, those ebbs and flows will happen when you look at building the reserves back. So organizationally, as an institution, we are still digging out, we are still building back reserves that were hit in the losses from the previous administrations. However, we're on the right track. So what we're budgeting year over year is a gain of about $2 million net gain year over year if we hold expenses constant and we continue to keep enrollment flat. And so that organizational health with regard to fiscal health at the institution is looking very good. We're on the right track. Culture and climate, you know, I'm a one-person show, but what I'm hearing is that culture and climate is healthy, morale is up. We do want to launch a climate study, a climate survey here at the college, and I'm working with the Faculty Senate representation right now. I believe they'll launch that study sometime in the summer. Those climate results will be shared wide across campus, and we'll use them, the senior leadership team will use those along with the deans to help make some changes where we need to make changes with organizational climate.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Core values. Core values with any organization are very important. What values do you think need to be a part of Northeast State Community College to not only continue as being as successful as we had, but to actually start to go up in our success?
Well, I love the core values here of respect, responsibility, and responsiveness. Those are on my email signature now, and so I believe those should continue to be the core values that drive our work. So respect, that all individuals have the dignity of respect, regardless of their background, their histories, or their choices in life. So respect is huge. Responsiveness, that is being responsive to the economic demands of our region and the communities that we serve, responsive to the student needs, responsive to our faculty and staff needs. And then responsibility, and that's being an efficient and wise steward of the resources that we have. So those are the 3 values that we embrace. I don't see those changing, and I hope that we continue to use those 3 core values to drive our actions as a college.
Okay. I have a new building going in just right out behind us.
Yes.
Can you tell us first a little bit about how that's going, when you see it being open, and actually what's going to happen in that building?
Okay, this is the most exciting building that I have ever been a part of because it is a novel approach to delivering technical education on a community college campus. When you walk through the main hallway of this building, it will be an entire glass hallway. So I joke and call it, I don't know if you've been to Savannah and the Arts District in Savannah where you can walk and you see the artist working. This will be a technology district. And so you will look into the glass classrooms and see students working with robotics, CNC, welding, machine tooling. Cybersecurity is going to be upstairs, the entertainment technology facility, an addition in the wing, but it's going to have glass hallways. And so all students, not just these students, who walk through this building will see students at work with their hands into these environments. And so I'm very excited about the model for the building. We are on goal. I met with Messer a couple of weeks ago. The building, they believe, will be finished around November of this year. and students will begin moving into the building in the spring semester. So Christmas break is going to be very busy. I've joked and said we may have one of those makeover shows where we're here serving pizza and touching up paint at midnight over Christmas break. But all indication looks like the building will be finished by the end of the fall semester and the doors open in the beginning of the spring semester. So
That
it's
is
very exciting.
It is exciting. And with that building going in, do you think that's going to free up space for perhaps additional classrooms
Yes.
in the existing buildings?
Yes, so we are getting together right now to look at what classrooms will be vacated, where can we utilize those classrooms, what are some areas of opportunity that those resources could provide for our students moving forward. Yeah.
Okay. Do you see any changes in the outreach from Northeast State Community College, especially to high schools, to really get students to consider Northeast State as a higher education destination?
Yes, so one of the first committees that I have charged is a Student 2025 committee. It's a strategic enrollment planning committee that Jennifer Starling is taking the lead on, and we sent a cross-section of about 20 faculty and staff, rising leaders at the college, forward thinkers, to go to a student success symposium. And they were in a breakout session, and their charge was talk about the Northeast State student of 2025. What do they need? What do they want? What do their experiences need to be like? We've received some preliminary feedback. There will be follow-up conversations around this Northeast State student 2025, and I believe that this group will help determine our next steps in reaching high school students and reaching out to the next generation of Northeast State college students.
And going to go back a little bit from the Northeast State, students that come directly from high school. What about those that are coming back, non-traditional, maybe not been to college yet? How about reaching out to those types
Absolutely. So one of the challenges I would love for the entire college to take on is doubling our military student enrollment. We know that we have some great programs here for military students. We have a way to administer academic credit through prior learning assessments for those military transcripts. So we have folks here in-house who can look at your military transcript, help you ascertain how many college credits that your prior military experience can help get a head start on your academic program here at the college. That's one group of individuals. We also have child care grants. So adult students with children need to know that we have grants that they can apply for and use at their provider of choice, as long as it's a 3-star quality provider, to have a child care voucher, as many children as you have, to provide child care services for our students. We looked with Achieving the Dream. Some of the data that I've been given is that 100% of our single parents are on Pell Grants here at the college. So we want to do more to help parents of children come to school here. Other non-traditional age groups that we think this new advanced technologies building, we think that that's a target programmatic area for non-traditional students who may want to come back and retool some of their hands-on, some of those more mechanical fields, the more industrial fields. We believe that more adult students will come to those areas, programmatic areas as well. So.
And what about the student that maybe thinks, well, I know I've heard they're doing a lot of technology, they have online courses and things like that. I don't know if I can actually do that kind of work or work in that kind of an atmosphere. What would you tell them?
I would say try it and see. You know, I was that skeptic as a professor. I taught a 100% online doctoral program, and I was that skeptic in the beginning who thought, how can this be the same, until I tried it. And it's a wonderful environment, particularly if you are a working professional. Because being able to do your homework at midnight and being able to post your assignments at midnight or at 6 in the morning before you go to work, that's a fabulous asset. So I would encourage anyone who's maybe a little bit apprehensive to take one class and just see what it's like. And then stay in touch with your professor along the way so that they know this is how this is going for me. So I would encourage those apprehensive to try one online class at least. And I'll follow up on that. Business and industry expects graduates to have technology skills. It's an expectation. What better way to garner technology skills than being in an online class? So.
Are there any plans to expand course offerings at the various campuses of Northeast State Community College?
Well, that's something that I, as a president, am sensitive to. I want to make sure that the faculty who are the experts at this college are the ones who identify needs for programmatic areas. That needs to bubble up from the faculty who are in the classrooms and who have advisory committees for their programs. We do need to hear from the places of employment. Are we meeting the needs of the employers? Are there some emerging areas? I've been hearing things when I'm in the community, hey, we really need this, we really need this. What I do when those things come to my plate is I meet with Connie Marshall and say, hospitality, tourism, and management. People are talking about this. Do we need it? Johnson City would like some sort of outdoor parks and rec. Do you feel like we have the faculty skill set, or do we need to hire new faculty? Should we do a market needs analysis? Those types of conversations. So this is very exciting for me. New programmatic areas are always exciting to look at, but they do need to be anchored in the faculty who have the expertise. So.
Northeast State Community College, we know it's a great community college, but what about getting it recognized beyond Northeast State, even getting recognized nationally? What are we doing in those areas?
Well, two major recognitions happened for the college this year. I mean, well, I could talk about a lot of them. So one is that we have an Achieving the Dream Scholar, Samantha Parrish, 2019 Achieving the Dream Scholar. Out of 80 national applicants, we received 1 of 8. So one of our students is the best in the nation, 1 of 8 best community college students in the nation. The Tennessee Board of Regents recently selected John Adcox, who works in our Veterans Center, as the outstanding staff member across the entire system in the state of Tennessee. So out of 6,000 employees, our John was selected as the outstanding staff member in the entire state. So a lot of recognition there. Our Honors Institute is an exemplar. Phi Theta Kappa is an exemplar, and then they're top 5 national organization for that area. And so we have a lot of attention around the excellence and the rigor that we develop in our students. I would also say that the 4-year presidents, the local university presidents, are always talking to me about wanting our students. So that's an important feather in our cap too, that we have 4 years coming after us saying we want your students, we want your transfer students. And so a lot there. I would add Skills USA. We have students who are finalists in the Skills USA competitions, and so that's more to come in that area of advanced technology and the Skills USA programs. And then the Tennessee Intercollegiate State Legislator, TISL program, has also brought more recognition to the community college. So.
And talking about the 4-year institutions, of course we have good relationships with local 4-year institutions. What about those in Tennessee or even out of Tennessee? How do you see us relating to those and sending students to those institutions with the knowledge that when they go, they're going to enter as not as a sophomore or something of that nature, but as a junior. And be able to carry on their degree? I
want to have more of those conversations with the 4 years, particularly some of our signature and niche programs. So we have aviation, which is in cybersecurity. Those are 2 really hot programs right now. And so whereas some feeder institutions with our 4 years that it could be nationally, that we invite those 4 years to our campus to see what we're doing and to hear from them, what are you looking for in our graduates? How can we partner? How can we have an articulation agreement into your 4-year program? I also think with higher education's changing financial landscape, we will see more what we would consider dual enrollment arrangements, how we send our faculty into the high schools. I could see how 4 years may want to send some of their faculty to our campus, and so that our students could stay here but take their junior level courses taught by their faculty members on our campus. I would be very excited for a 4-year to want to do a partnership like that with us, where they're sending their talent to our campus to educate our students for their junior and senior years.
Okay. And among other relationships, obviously relationships with the local communities. You mentioned some of the discussions with Johnson City and what their needs are in other areas. How would you gauge our relationships with the communities, and how are we going to either improve it or keep it at that level?
Yes. So we have a presence in Elizabethton, in Gray, in Johnson City, and in Kingsport, and of course here on our main campus in Blumpville. The faculty are the ones who are in the classroom, so they're the first step with the students, making sure that the students from those areas are happy, that they're feeling like they belong, they're feeling like they're getting the high quality education that they deserve. So the first step, I believe, of any relationship building is between the faculty and the student in the classroom. The college at large, we need to do a strategic marketing plan, and that's something that will come. So currently the foundation of the college, which is the arm of the college that generates resources, scholarships and funding for the college, we will be launching a search for an executive director of that foundation, and then begin to do more around what you're saying, assessing the relationships with these different areas that we serve, and finding out what do they need from us, what are they wanting from us, how do we serve those regions, those areas with what they need. So that's next step.
Okay. And looking at this campus in particular,
Yes.
and I talked to some students prior to talking to you and say what would they ask you if they had the opportunity, and one of the things is more options for being able to stay on campus and have something, options as far as getting meals.
Yes, I have heard that from day one. Food is a big deal, and we need to reassess what we're doing to provide students the options that they need. Both paid purchased food, vendors that we partner with here on our campus, but I also think there's some opportunities to address some of the students who have true food needs. There's food scarcity across community colleges. I don't pretend that we're not one that's affected. The current statistic is about 50% of community college students do not know where their next meal might come from. That's a staggering statistic, and we need to address that. We know that students from the K-12 school systems who matriculate here have options like the free and reduced lunch program. We need to look at as a sector. Community colleges need to, as a sector, look at how we provide meals for our students. So.
Okay. And looking about the, kind of going back and looking at generally learners in the classroom and those opportunities that they have, how would you assess what we're giving them now? Or do you think that the faculty here, how would you rate our
Excellent.
success as far as are we doing?
Yes, excellent, excellent. I have a daughter here, and a testament to the faculty, a huge testament to the faculty, given the transition that the college went through. Those were tough times, right? You all went through some really, really tough times. My daughter had no idea, which is a testament to the faculty who, even though the college was going through some tough years, the faculty were showing up, they were teaching, they were continuing the tradition of excellence in the classrooms. And so I have nothing but praise for what's happening here.
Yeah. And as you are thinking of Northeast State Community College, where do you see us in 10 years?
I see us becoming more engaged with the local communities. It's something that the faculty and the staff are talking to me about. So ways that we can, our Tennessee Promise students are giving 8 hours a semester into community service. Our faculty are doing that and our staff are doing that, but I would love to see more coordination around projects and programs that we are going out into our communities that we serve as faculty and staff members, and we're more engaged in the communities we serve. We've talked, I've bounced around this idea, I'll toss it out there, I need to know if it flies or not, but becoming the MIT of community colleges. We have a strong technical background. We were one of the first technical colleges in the state, and when we think about community colleges and their origin around mechanics, right, and technology, we could be the MIT for community colleges. We could become that math and science, that STEM preparation field for moving forward. And so we're already doing a lot in that area, but highlighting that and enhancing that. So becoming even more known for the ways that we prepare students in the STEM fields in particular.
And looking at that, and when a student comes to Northeast State Community College or any four-year institution, they are required to not only take courses in their declared major, but they're also required to what we call the general education core.
Correct.
And some people say, why do I have to take fill in the blank? What would you say to the student that kind of looks at it, I'm here to learn about this, but I have to go through all these hoops? What would you say to that student?
One of the biggest requests that employers ask for is the ability to think critically. And the humanities is one of the best places to gather that ability to think critically. So literature, ethics, philosophy, religion, all of those areas, business, allows folks to examine ethical dilemmas that they will face in their workplace, regardless of what their occupations are, right? I mean, we all have those challenges. And we also want our students to be good contributors to the society that they live in, so being a good citizen. And so it's a combination, you know, we don't learn in a vacuum, you have to have both. And so I would tell them to think about that critical thinking and how it's developed. And often it's developed through the humanities and experiencing things like history and art and literature, for instance.
Okay. And of course, our students are going to leave either after 2 years and go get a job, and they're going to need some specific skills such as interviewing skills, resume writing skills, and do you think we're doing enough to develop those?
I do. We have a really strong career services area. I heard a lot about that when I was interviewing here, and I've been so impressed with what we are doing with career services. Speaking of national recognition, we're the only college in the state that offers Department of Labor registered apprenticeships. We have over 300 registered Department of Labor apprenticeships in our college. And so more employers are coming to us wanting to create some apprenticeship opportunities for our students. And so I think our career services is doing a fabulous job. I see more in this area around internships and apprenticeships where students are in the workforce while they're our students getting those experiences and academic credit at the same time.
That's right. And what about the area before students are actually sitting in the classroom and that advising program, especially that happens in the summer? How would you appraise that?
I've heard good things about that bridge program and about the early advising and early opportunities for students to see what they need before they come here. I would want to know what the students think about it. You know, I think we can do more to reach out to the students to find out, are you getting the types of advising that you need? One piece of data that I'd like to request is of all the 1,422 students who are graduating this May in a week. I want to know, what is the average number of credit hours they're graduating with? Is it 60? Is it 80? Is it 90? What is the average number of credit hours? That will tell us how well we're advising.
Okay. And we're nearing the end of our time together. Anything that you would like to tell future students, former students, people who are just curious about Northeast State, about how it's impacting the region?
Yes.
Anything that you have?
Well, one of my favorite things about this college, when I've been meeting with students and I ask them, what is your favorite thing about Northeast State? The word family comes up all the time. The students tell me, this feels like a family. I walk across campus and my faculty, they know my name. I'm in my classroom. They know whether I'm there or not. It's a family and they feel like they belong. The one piece I want us to do is to communicate to every single student that you do belong here. Regardless of your background, regardless of where you're coming to us from, you belong here in this family. And so that would be the one piece I would want to communicate.
Okay.
So.
Well, Dr. Flora, thank you so much for taking time, I know, out of your extremely busy day to sit down with us and talk about Northeast State Community College and your vision for it. And we do appreciate your time.
Thank you. You guys have been great. I really appreciate you accepting me into this family, and I look forward to working with you more, Rick. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. We'll be back in a moment to wrap up Direction Northeast.
I've learned a lot of things in my life, but there is no substitute for hard work. If you've got the will and determination, doors will always continue to open. Life puts us in the driver's seat. Where we go and what we accomplish is up to us. What's that old saying? When the going gets tough, the tough get going.
That concludes the program for today. We have talked with our new president of Northeast State Community College, Dr. Bethany Flora. Community is very important to the students at Northeast State Community College, and this program takes a look at a few of the subjects they find important. Until we meet again, on behalf of the students, staff, and faculty of Northeast State Community College, I'm Dr. Rick Merritt, and this is Direction Northeast.